Happy Monday, everybody, and welcome back to Brown Bag Bets, powered by BETSPERTS. We are your daily dose of quick hit handicapping and sports betting picks. I'm Alex Christenson, and joining me, as always, to finally recap the end of the football season. What did you think of the game, Andy? I mean, I thought that was about as entertaining as a 43-point game probably has ever been.
Yeah, it was good. You had some intrigue in the second half. I think first half over betters felt really bad because of the missed extra point, and then over betters in general. I mean, you basically had the amount of points you needed in the first half, score right away in the second half, short field immediately after, and that over was not coming home. Overtime was sitting right there for the taking if the Bengals could have got even close with a really good field goal kicker. So that was a lot was in the balance. It was a fun game regardless, and the props went how they always go. Like the informational stuff is always good. The real funny one was just the entire world talking about the touchback, and then just a no doubt right away. It's not like it went 40 yards deep and through the uprights. It wasn't that deep of a kick, but right away you could see that returner. It's like, oh, he's not even thinking about grabbing this ball. Like that's dead, 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 dead.
It was a bummer. Got a bunch of other fun stuff. We had 4 players throw a pass, 3 players complete a touchdown pass, which was quite a bit of fun. A bunch of sacks, just kind of like we thought. Got the 2 interceptions, which was nice. I think I had that. The end of the first quarter was a little tough. I would have been preferred if the Bengals had to score it, been a touchdown. I could have gotten a tie there. They've unfortunately lost the first quarter under 9.5 and the tie, but pretty good night overall. I mean, how did you end up doing personally? Did you have a lot of other stuff besides kind of informational props and things like that?
No, I mean it was pretty light. Um, Ended up some people pushed the blue Gatorade late, so I ended up just kind of breaking evenish. I think I lost money on Gatorade like I usually do. But somebody had some good blue information. I had to buy out of my yellow position, which is something you can only say for this game. Otherwise, the anthem stuff was fine. The over 2.5 passers, I thought we cashed it. I forgot that 2-point conversions or tries. It's a try, not a play. When you go for the extra point or 2-point conversion, those don't count on the stat sheet. But then, like 3 other people threw passes anyway, so it didn't matter. A field goal, if that exact play would have happened on a field goal with a botched snap, that is a 4th down, not a try. So that would have counted as a pass. But like I said, regardless, we did get the over 2.5 passers, the over 2.5 touchdown passers. Cam Akers unders were easy for anybody who had those. My sack prop was looking dead, and then it came through a little bit. I did play the ladders. I played, as I put in an article, I played the over 4.5, 5.5, 6.5 for the Rams, 7.5, 8.5.
Yep.
7.5, 8.5.
That would very well.
A better fade. I thought we could have got one. Like if Joe Burrow couldn't have got that ball out on that last play, that would have been nice too, to get a little extra there. But overall, it was a good night. Good college basketball weekend for me. Golf went okay. DFS could have gone better for both things. Golf was all right, but man, I had a really decent showdown lineup that had OBJ in it. And I'm sure a lot of people did. And it's not like I would have won $1 million if we didn't go out, but I would have won more if OBJ would have remained in. That would have been nice.
That would have been pretty nice. It was a pretty fun season. I mean, going back, I'm trying to think. I know our buddy Drew, he had the Rams and the Calcutta, so congratulations to Drew. That was pretty good. I'm trying to think if anybody else hit big here on the Rams or anything, but overall,
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that's over, because he just turns into such a little baby when the Rams aren't doing bad. Like we essentially ended the halftime stream after the interception. He's like, "Fuck this! I'm done watching this game." Like, all right, we'll see you guys Monday. I hope the Rams win, or we're not having a show tomorrow. But
the golf was good though. It was really a nice lead into like the event. I mean, in terms of like an overall like Super Bowl Sunday, that was pretty fun. I mean, it's some NBA games were pretty solid. Again, the golf was great. Shout out to our buddy Cal and our buddy James. They both had Scheffler. Love that. That was a stressful day. I tailed a bunch of you guys on those things, and I basically for like the Saturday and Sunday, I had everybody who was in second and third. Let's just keep watching. I was like, please not Cantlay, please not Tagala, please not Cantlay, please not Tagala. But it worked out.
Yeah, hell of a leaderboard, hell of an event. We have another one. We'll talk golf later in the show, get into this week's golf. But for you NFL heads, obviously we now pivot towards the draft. Not a ton of props out yet. And And I know you do dig into this a little, and obviously we have some people that get deep into this, running through the mocks and deciding what to play. And I know some people do have some pretty big numbers on a few of these guys. Man, I hate trying to say this guy, Ikem Ekwonu from NC State. There were some numbers on him that were massive. He's 4-1 now. I think people got him at 100-1. Like, if you
Yeah,
bet
him and
into
Malik
some of these
Willis, I think,
early
got some big
market,
numbers.
you're not going to get, it's like $50, $100 you can get down on this. But like, yeah, like Malik Willis was 100-1 before they played I don't even know which one it was, the Shrine Game or the Senior Bowl or whatever it is. So you can get some early value if you get ahead of this little. I don't have much in my portfolio yet, but it is time to completely pivot to draft stuff. And, right now it is Hutchinson and Evan Neal as your co-favorites, I'll call it right now, with Thibodeau right behind him. Thibodeau was, pretty heavily touted as probably being your number one guy during the season. I don't know. That's still out there. We still have a combine. We still have pro days. We still have a lot of stuff to go on. So it'll be something we tickle on here over the next 2 months. Honestly, the draft's in April. It's
We got time.
it's silly maybe to even bring it up now, but that's the thing. Like I said, if you want good positions on the draft, you got to be quick and early. So keep an eye on that. And obviously, if you're in the Discord and you have any hot tips, tag me because I'm not in there all day. You mentioned the National Basketball Association Monday slate, so you can't complain about TNT, but decent games tonight. And we had a consensus. I was just joking in the chat about this. But there was a bit of a consensus on one team today from a few people I trust and respect. So I'm definitely already bet this. So lay it on me.
Pretty solid slate, like you said. 9 games here, some fun ones. 2 bets that stick out. We'll start with the one that I know that you like and your model that stuck out, which is unfortunate because your model is a Bulls-based model, and you're generally looking for spots to back the Bulls. But tonight is not the night. The San Antonio Spurs, this was +5. It looks like it's ticked down to 3.5. Might play 3.5 maybe for a smaller wager. Hopefully it bounces back to 4. Grab some 4 if it does. Again, maybe money line at a smaller wager or something. Just a great spot for the Spurs. The Bulls missing, most of their guards. With all due, respect to Ao and DeMar, there's not much else besides those guys. And, it's going to be DeMar and Vucevic against, basically an entirely healthy Spurs team. It's a bad rest spot as well for the Bulls. So those guys should be pretty fatigued. It's just going to be tough for the Bulls tonight to keep up with the Spurs team that's really taking advantage of these situations. And without really any defense, the Spurs should put up a pretty big number. And I have this game just right about +2. So +5 was nice. +4 looks pretty solid. And then the Kings, the Sacramento Kings team total over 115.5. The Kings, we know, recently traded Halliburton for Domantas Sabonis. Say what you will about that. All we do know is it makes the Sacramento offense more efficient and their defense worse. There's going to be a lot more points in some of these Kings games tonight. And thought about playing the full game over here against the Nets. It's ticked all the way up to 230. Congratulations. That opened to 225. So if you bet the over there, that's pretty good. Just like this Kings team total over. As I look at the game more and more, it might be tough here for the Nets to score, even though the Kings aren't a great defensive team. The Nets are really without too many players tonight. I mean, Kevin Durant's out. Ben Simmons is not ready to play yet. They're in Brooklyn, so no Kyrie Irving. Just a really tough spot for the Nets. So going to grab a Kings team total over here. Wouldn't mind the full game over if you like that as well.
And I am staying away from this. I don't have my offensive efficiency numbers updated for the Kings after the moves at the trade deadline. So I'm trepidatious about this, but I trust you anyway.
It's good use of
Either way, we're on the Spurs. We're on the Spurs census tonight. It's happening. Even against my squad. That's
Can't
the
wait for
thing.
DB to wake up and see we're all on the Spurs. It's going to be fun.
I know he needs to get up a little earlier. I don't know what he does all morning. College hoops, like I said, good weekend. Saturday was fun. I think one of the better Saturdays I've had in a while. Yesterday, 4-3. I can't believe I had 7 bets on a Sunday card with like 20 games, and they were all sides. I came down to.
I was worried you'd quit
game,
totals or something.
Yeah, 3-3 going into the last game. Had a 2.5 point underdog in a game that was constantly tied with 2 teams that shoot a lot of threes. Like, I just assumed I'd lose it by 3 points on a last second shot. It did go to overtime. Although the favorite, who I did not have, had an inbound, and they inbounded it to a guy who was inside the arc, and he got off a shot. And I'm like, just please fucking drop. And it actually it caught quite a bit of rim. I thought that was going down, and we get a 2 point loss on a 2.5 point dog. I did get a outright win in overtime, which doesn't matter for the bets. It pays the same either way. So nice Saturday, nice Sunday. Monday heavier than I thought, and the totals are back. I didn't have a lot of totals. I was trying something different on Saturday, and I messed everything up, so I just stayed away from them. Did nothing but sides for 2 days, really. And now today I only have one
We're
side, and
back.
it's not even a dog. It is a favorite in my Fairfield. Oh God, well, I almost said Foxes. Fairfield Stags of Connecticut -6 here.
Ooh,
This
I like
actually
boxes.
was
The
seven.
alliteration would be better.
7 on the soft open overnight. Been bet down a little. I'm not quite sure why. I checked in with some MAAC guys, asked a couple questions. I don't fully understand why an offense like this, that never turns the ball over and makes their 3 points well enough, is only a 6 point favorite over Canisius, who I don't have as a very good team. I think they're one of the bottom offenses and defenses in the conference. Regardless, I am like, and it's an away game. Like I never bet a home favorite like this. I just can't make this number work in any of my models. So Fairfield -6, my favorite look for the day, and then the rest of the totals are kind of the same kind of stuff I've been betting all year. There's some SWAC unders. There's a Niagara over. I bet I've had 5 of those this year, but Dayton over 125.5. That's something that's been steamed up again. The soft low limit overnight number was like 122, which people were eyeing up already last night and hit right away this morning. So over 125.5 with that one, over 130 with Niagara. And then, like I said, some unders in you know what? South Carolina State. That's not a SWAC. That's a MEAC.
I have no idea.
But I have to look that up. It is the MEAC. Either way, they are small HBSU conferences, HBCU. They're kind of the same. It's just one's based around Baltimore, the other one's based around the South. So South Carolina State under 148.5, Grambling under 144, and MVSU, the Delta Devils, one of the worst teams ever put together over the last decade. This is a team that, if this goes over, this will have 200 points. They either play really, really horrible ball, or they just only play really horrible defense. And the other team scores 105. So this one's a little ticklish, but I still made some value on under 145 there.
I like it quite a bit. MVSU, for those that don't know, Mississippi Valley State. Took me a little while to find that one.
I believe Jerry Rice's alma mater, as
Sounds right.
we had a wide receiver from Division 2 / whatever MFCS FBS win the MVP last night. Jerry Rice did the same thing from, I think it was Mississippi
I
Valley
didn't think
State.
about
That's
that.
correct. FCS 1AA, whatever you want to call it. My golfers, a lot of the golfers who are back from the Middle East, they played in Dubai a couple weeks ago. This city, this country is just pumping out sports content. Wait, we got World Cup in the Middle East. What's cracking here? And what made you change your mind on this one? This gal who we were a little cold on to start the season. I think everybody was. Like I want to hear, because I've seen several decent cappers make some reasons to back Helena here, and I want to know what changed.
Yeah, I mean, it's we're talking about Dubai here. The women are in Dubai. It's a pretty fun tournament. They go to Dubai. I think there's an Abu Dhabi event,
Mm.
as well as another one, Doha as well. They kind of bounce around that area a little bit. All pretty fun events. I mean, just a stacked field. The qualifying, again, one of the better parts of the weekend was the qualifying here was as good as, a 250 level, 500 level even tournament. We jump into the weekend here, and you're talking about Elena Ostapenko, someone that we kind of talked about. Honestly, the way she looked physically. I mean, she came into the season, she's definitely put on more weight, but seems to be moving okay and is hitting the ball as hard as she ever has. Her game seems to be pretty consistent. Hard to figure out exactly what changed for her, but seems to be pretty locked in. These courts should be great for her. You look at the draw; she's in a really nice spot. Took her outright, right around 40 to 1 or so. So there's tennis happening right now. Maybe in a few hours they'll be wrapped up, and there might be some outrights, later this afternoon, tonight. Take a look for Ostapenko 40-1 or better, and Krejcikova 10-1 or better if you get a chance to grab those. But for this particular match, again, a little tough because I clicked and 6 lines opened up as I was talking to you as they start to fill in the first round after some qualifiers. So we'll have some more stuff tomorrow on Wednesday. I'll be sure to put anything, try to get those picks in on BetSperts and things. But just a parlay based on what was open here. Ons Jabeur, really good player. Maybe just a little worried about kind of her health. She had to retire in her last match, but has had some time to recover. Apparently has been practicing, looks okay. But happy to put her. She's playing Vera Zvonareva here. In general, I was thinking about maybe playing the Jabeur spread. It's 4.5. I make it closer to 5. She generally really beats up on women kind of outside the top 25, top 50. Zvonareva playing a little better, but I like the spot here for Jabeur. And as you mentioned, Ostapenko was able to get her money line right around -115 when it opened. It's drifted out kind of into the -135, -140 range. I like it out to 150, honestly. Just think this is a really nice spot for her. Sophia Kenin, her opponent, continues to get handicapped, I think, kind of based on her name versus what we've seen her do. Has been competitive this year. So, instead of maybe playing an Ostapenko spread, we might get like a 7-6, 5-7 kind of, thing here. Just looking for Ostapenko again on the money line. Put it together with Jabeur in a parlay. We should get +125. Again, find value on both, so happy to put them together.
I like an early week parlay in Dubai. Remember that one year it rained? I think it was the men's tournament where we had
Yeah.
it was like Qatar and it rained like 3 straight days. They get like 4/10 of an inch of rain a year, and we had rain delays for like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or something. Just bizarre stuff. That is the beauty of these desert events. They don't need to #build a roof. It ain't happening. And Ethan, shout out to Itabena. I actually know this little. I dug into this one because some of these small colleges are honestly in the middle of nowhere. Like the town is named Ida. I don't even know if I'm saying it's right. It's a tiny little town out in Mississippi where this Mississippi Valley is located, and it doesn't look like it's close to anything. So have
I
fun.
think it's a town they
Have fun at
mentioned
that
in
campus
Oh
life.
Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah, it
Itabena.
feels like that. It's like swampland
I
out
always thought
there.
it was Inabena. Maybe it's Itabena.
Itabina? That sounds
Maybe.
better than how I'm saying it. I'm
Yeah.
guessing it's a Native American word. Like there
Most
was
of it is.
not Seminole. I'm trying to think what tribes are over that way. It'll come to me. Neither here nor there. Back on the West Coast, though, I did want to talk a little golf. I don't like making super early outright picks when there is, early soft markets are only the ones, like BetOnline and DraftKings are up or MGM. I don't trust some of those numbers. I want to know what's going on with some of the prices. There are a few guys I circled right away. I tweeted out some pictures of them, but this is a nasty field. This is a great tournament, a great course. It's in LA. Top 10. Dan pointed this out. Top 10 is all there. All the big names are coming. This is a I think outside of if you throw out like the tour finals and stuff, this is right behind the majors as far as purse. That's the reason the top 10 are here. Oh, there's so much money. Like the purse is just massive. It's a good tournament to win if you like money. And that's why Rahm, Cantley, Thomas, Justin, everyone is here. A
They
lot
love
of them
money.
were already, stateside from their forays over in Saudi Arabia because of the waste management last week. But not a big travel spot over to LA. And yeah, there's a few guys I am like Morikawa, Zalatoris, some of these young guys I am looking at. John Rahm, if you want to bet him every week, have fun. I guess you're gonna pay a tax on him. Like he's gonna probably win a tournament. I talked to Frank this morning about this. I'm like, one of these weeks he might just be leading by 8 after like 2 rounds. Like John Rahm might just go full John Rahm and ruin a tournament, which is bound to happen at some time. But also, it's not a real big sample size of how many tournaments he's going to play. The John Rahm could get shut out all year. I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility. He's a very good golfer, but it's so hard to beat the course and 140 other guys every week. So take it easy with some of the real short favorites, despite how Cantlay's playing, how Xander's playing. Xander was right there the whole tournament as well. Some of these guys played so well. This course is going to be kind of similar in how they use a fast, firm approach as a defense rather than, I don't know. All the rough is not easy either. It's that Kikuyu grass as well. So there's some things to be looked at before you get too deep in this. I'll have some picks out on this tomorrow, so you can see in the little bit of a graphic there Dan made for us. It says BETSPERTS Golf on top. That is not off the ground yet, but it is 2 weeks away from maybe having some content up on the BETSPERTS Golf site. I gave away a $100 gift card last week to Fanatics for somebody random. I had to go find a website to do a randomizer for the emails so I could pick someone at random and not feel guilty about just running my finger down a screen with the eyes closed. But I'll do that again this week. If you go over to betspertsgolf.com and put in your email, you get subscribed to a free once a week newsletter, and I'll put them all in a randomizer again when we tee off this week at the Genesis. I'll give somebody else another $100 Fanatics gift card. So betspertsgolf.com, check it out. A couple weeks, we'll have some content up there. And with that, the only thing you have left to do is hit the thumbs up in the YouTube chat. Hit the thumbs up and go on with your Monday. Try to be productive. I don't think anyone's really going to today. It's day after the Super Bowl. This is a bad Monday. Yeah, if you called in, whatever. Go. All right. See you guys.